Well, hey everyone, this is James from Mad River Homestead here on an absolutely beautiful spring day in Southwest Ohio, and getting ready to start on another project, of course, and that is giving our goats an area that they can browse in. So I'm going to be having to put up some fence, going to have to tear down some fence, but I've got a really good handle on what I'm going to be doing. So let me show you what it looks like. So I'm over here by the male goat pen. This is looking from the woods back towards the house. This is the females and the kids over here. And from there, that's where I was just now for the first part of this video. And then we got all that open space on the other side of the truck over to our fence line. And the thing is, goats are browsers, and they love to go out, pick leaves off of bushes, things like that. They don't graze like cows do, but as you can see, there is a lot of forage out here that last year I would take them out and tether them for an hour or two, just let them get their fill in certain areas. I've decided I'm going to make it where I could just let them out in it. They can eat to their heart's content. For a limited amount of time, of course. So let me show you what I'm going to be doing. And by the way, I apologize for the wind noise. Some of this video, I'll just put a little music in the background, let you see what I'm doing. But let me just explain it real quick first. So over here to that fence line, I'm just putting a cattle panel here. That's really all I need. That's one of those cattle panels that I got for $5, so I think it's good use of it. Hey there, G. And Ezra. What's going on? Y'all want to get out here, don't you? All right, so that takes care of that gap. Okay, so for this part here, I'm going to be putting fence up from this post. It's going to go up around that tree over to right there, somewhere in there. And I'm going to have a gate going from there to that gate post. So that way I'll be able to let them out of this pen, let the boys out of this pen, and they'll just be able to go right out into the woods. I will temporarily put a cattle panel because I'm going to be doing the part over to the right first. I'm going to put a cattle panel from here over to here just so I can go and let them out and they can start using it. That way I can work on that other part. All right, so let me go over and show you the third part in this series, if you will. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna start my fence on this tree right here. And it's gonna go kind of at an angle to right around in there. I'm gonna put a fence post here, have a gate across here because I bring my four-wheeler out here and do different things in the woods with it. So I'm going to put a gate across here, and then there'll be a fence from there over to that post, which that post is going away. The reason for that is it is rotted. Came out here the other day just to take a look at this fence, and as you can see, it's not even connected down there. I can almost twist it apart. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut the fence here, put a new post right in here, staple this fence to it. This fence, it can go ahead and go on as is. There's nothing really gonna be trying to get through it. The chickens found a couple of gaps, but I've got those fixed up. But as you can see, this fence here, all the way back, it's just not something that's good for goats. These openings are too big. They get their horns caught in them. The fence as it is, Ezra for sure would be able to push that thing over and just get right over it. And he would try and be successful, I'm sure. But as you can see, this fence is just in really bad shape. It's got a lot of the T-posts in it, so I'll be able to use those. And the other posts on back there, they're in good shape actually, so I'll be able to use those. So the first thing I'm gonna have to do is rip this fence down. And I'll be going all the way back to that corner back there. So it's about, if I remember right, about 190 90 feet. So the fence roll I got is 330, so I'll have a good amount left over even after doing these other parts. This is the roll of fence that I'll be using, and it is actually called sheep and goat fence, as you can see here. And the openings are 4 inches by 4 inches, so they can't get their horns stuck in there. They can't even get their head through it. This thing is heavy. It's 330 feet, weighs 231 pounds. So it's quite a job to horse it around. But what I'll do is I'll set it down to that far corner, and I'm gonna unroll it all the way down here and then start putting it up. So that'll help a lot, get a lot of the weight off of it. All right, so let me get to work. All right, about halfway. It was patched together about midway, so went ahead and rolled that one up. Okay, so all the fence is torn down all the way back. There's almost all of those wooden posts were rotted. The one that you see right there, it's still really good. All the other ones are rotted, so I'll have to replace. I'll just replace those with T-posts. That's one of the rolls that you see right there, and then I've got 2 more. So I'm getting there. Next thing to do is get the fence down there. So I'll get it unrolled, and then I'll secure that far end on the heavy posts that are down there, and then I'll stretch it down to here, and I'll have another post right down in this area, and I'll get that fence secured to there, and then I'll go back and put in the extra T-posts and clip them to the T-posts. So yeah, shouldn't take too long. All right, so I got the roll of wire in the corner there where I need it to be, and I gotta clear out some kind of little tiny tree that's coming up and right in the way of where I need to start. But I'm gonna try my best to get this thing in position, and then I'm gonna roll it out. Hopefully I can get it between this tree and kind of the line that I'm needing to follow. I'm probably have to twist it a little bit just to get it to roll out, but I think it'll be okay. So you can see I've got that kind of secured to the fence there. That's because I need to have enough, make sure I have enough down here when I get it all rolled out to be able to go ahead and secure it to that fence post and then that fence post. So once I do that, then I'll stretch it. So I got to finish unrolling it. Okay, have the fence rolled all the way down to where I'm going to make my turn. So I'm gonna get it secured on this end. Well, here's something you never hear a homesteading YouTuber say. I thought I had the camera on. But yeah, that's what happened. So what I've done is I've secured it to that post there. And then this one here, just put staples every other strand. And that should be plenty secure enough for me to attach my fence stretcher down at that end. I was going to do it with the four-wheeler, but I think I better get the truck back out here. And so I'll be able to pull it and stretch it good and start putting it on these T-posts. Well, I got my hole dug. I was going to go about 2.5 feet, but right around 2 feet I ran into, I think it must be limestone. So I couldn't get any farther. So at least I know it's sitting on something real solid. So now I just have to tamp in some dirt around and make it good from side to side. Leave me a comment. Does that look like limestone? It was just breaking off in little pieces like that. Bunch of them. Okay, so it's getting windier, but what I'm gonna do now is stretch that extra, that slack that I had in it. I'm just gonna pull it with the four-wheeler to do that. And so what I got here, if you haven't seen any of my other videos where I stretch fence, this is what I call my fence stretcher. It's just got 4 bolts, and I bolt that onto the fence, and then I wrap this strap around it. It's got hooks, and for this part I'm just going to hook it onto my four-wheeler, see if I can pull that slack out good. Okay, I should have laid that thing down first. I see. Just squashed a cheap little bucket. Anyway, I think I got it. I think I got what I needed there. I'm gonna go down and check it. Yeah, I definitely pulled that slack out. So I've got some of the fence up and attached to the posts and T-post up to that point right there. So, and I've got it unrolled down to here. And what I'm going to do here is from this T-post to here, I'm going to go around this wooden post that I have here. Then it's going to come across right over to that point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and measure from here to here, and then from there over to where I'm going to take it. And then I'm just going to go ahead and cut that much, and then stretch with that piece. It'll be a lot easier. I'm telling you, this stuff is heavy. Even with over half of it off that roll is just so unwieldy. So I'm going to use this handy dandy little measuring tape measure that I have on my phone, because I left my other tape measure in the garage. But I'll show you how this thing works. It's kind of cool. As you can see, I need to stretch the fence. I got to a point where it had a little slack in it. My ATV stopped running yesterday. It was used, I bought it, in 1987. The thing's pretty old, but it ran out of gas, and I think it sucked some stuff up into the carburetor, so it needed to be serviced anyway. So I took it to a guy to get it serviced. So I'm trying to use my lawnmower for this. I don't know if there's gonna be enough weight or not. I'm gonna try it first, just using my come along. If it starts pulling the lawnmower and we're not good and tight yet, then I will probably anchor it, maybe that tree right there, and put another strap from the lawnmower to the tree to pull against it. We'll see what happens here. Well, the lawnmower wasn't heavy enough. It started sliding this way before the fence got really nice and tight. So what I had to do is put a strap on that tree right there, and it wasn't quite long enough to reach the come along, so I had to put a heavy duty ratchet strap between them, but that got me to where I need to be. So the fence is nice and tight. I just have to put it on these T-posts here. Added a couple of extra ones in there where there were some bigger gaps. So I'll get that done. Then I'll get it around here, put a post in over there, and this part of the fence will be done. That's the biggest part. Now, if you've never done T-posts before, clipped them in, this is what the clips look like. I would highly recommend that you get this nifty little tool right here. It's perfect for the job. Let me show you how it works. Now, I would like to go over here, but there's not going to be enough that can pull that off of there. But you take this curved part right here, put it on this side, push the other one through underneath, and this one's going to be tricky because it's kind of close there. Just move the post a little bit. So now you got that on there. Now you can use any one of these holes, and all you're going to do is put it through here, just like this, and then just twist it right around, and you're done. So that's how easy that is. As you can see, I got a bunch of them to do, so I'm not gonna make you watch this whole thing. Well, I got it stretched tight, got all the T-posts on down there, and as soon as I let the tension off, it kind of loosened up a little bit that way right there. So I did what I should have done in the first place. Put the fence stretcher on this side of that post, so now it's stretched tight again. I'm going to get a staple to that post. Well, that's what I got done since the last segment. I wasn't videoing it, but I got the fence from that post to this post and got the gate up. Nothing to latch it to yet, but there will be a post right here with a fence going over that way. Well, I have gotten to a point where I can let the goats out in their new heaven. By the way, before I go any further, if you could hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't done that, if you enjoyed the video, and check out some of my other videos. And of course, share it with someone as well. And leave a comment. I welcome any comments, anything you think that could help me here. I'm just learning as I go. So hopefully the things that I do can be an inspiration to someone else. And you know, you can use this information for yourself. So let me show you where I got to. So as a reminder, that is the big pen right there. We had that big gap on the other side of that, and we had a gap between the two pens. This is the male goat pen, and so we had this gap here between the property line here and there. So what I did there was use the cattle panel, because sometimes I need to go through here. I put stuff like the chicken tractor. If you haven't seen that video on the chickens, you should check that out. But I put the chicken tractor here, the brooder, which is a big stock tank. So it makes it kind of nice to be able to, you know, to drive through here. So I made this so it's removable. It is just a cattle panel, and you can see what I've done here is put carabiners. So that's actually really secure. I mean, they can't fit through it. It's not going anywhere. I put 3 carabiners on it, and it's actually, like I said, very secure. I just wrapped some wire from the fence that I'd cut around that. That's a T-post in the middle, just so they're not able to push this down too much. That's about as far as they'll be able to push it, and it's not going anywhere. It's very rigid. And then over there, these things are pretty good. They just, I just use staples, put them into the post here, and then it's kind of like a carabiner. It's called some kind of snap or something, but put 3 of those there. So again, I can remove this all the way, or I can just remove the carabiners on that side and just swing it open as far as I need to go. So as you can see, I have not finished my fencing and gate down at that end. Ultimately, that's what I'm gonna do, but I wanted to get these things out here. They need to get out here and clear out some of the woods for one thing, but just enjoy it. And so I did something similar to over there. I just got some carabiners, cattle panel, carabiner it over here, and put a pole in the middle again just to keep them from pushing against it and bowing it. Okay, so this turned out actually pretty good. What I did here was I stapled my fence to this tree and then just wired it to the other fence there. So that closes that opening. Maybe at some point I might make this a gate. I don't know. That's a possibility. But ran the fence from there to this path over here. Got the gate up. It's still, this actually still needs some work because I kind of rushed it and I didn't have braces, and so there's some play in this post here. So I need to brace that real good, and but it's strong enough to hold them for now. And then over here, ran that fence over to there. And the fence is replaced all the way down the line, as you can see. So I'm really happy with the way it turned out. I think it's really going to be nice for them to be able to get out here. There's a lot of underbrush that they can work on, and just the, you know, the freedom to move around a little bit, I think it's going to be great for them. So let me go get the camera set up, and you can watch me bring them out. I am going to put them on a leash for this, because if I just let them out, they're just going to go that way into our yard. Don't want that. Well, that's nothing. Let's go out there. Wait. Let me get this off you. Come on, right here or there. This way.
Daisy. Come on, Daisy. Come on. Come on. Get out there.
Well, I let Uno out and she came right down here. She wanted to be with everybody else. Hey, Ezra, what do you think? That's one of your babies right there. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this. I certainly have. The most of the enjoyment is right now. Everybody out here just enjoying it. The babies don't know quite what to make of it. And Uno, she's getting out into some of the other area. Good girl. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video, like I said, and until the next one, thank you and God bless you and your family.